Hello, hello, welcome, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Come to Us has released an absolute banger of an update, and when I say banger, they have banged the players ridiculously. Let's go into the new unit Zeta-06. We're in for a doozy, fellas. On her crit attack, she does an AoE for 540% of her attack. She does apply a damage dealt up by 20% for her ranged allies. Fantastic. On her exclusive skill, she deals 960% of attack as damage. And she applies one stack of crush damage up by 10%. I thought that I was reading this wrong when I first read this. 10%. What an incredibly bad exclusive skill. Okay. Going into the awakenings for Zeta-06, 3A is going to be that standard skill cooldown reduction. 5A, you get a range up, which is going to be perfect for PvP, tower defense. You do get the CDR buff as well, which is very, very nice. Now her 7A is where she really spikes. So additionally to applying the crush damage up by 10%, she applies one stack of crush damage up by 20%. So essentially, each time she uses her exclusive skill, she will be applying a 30% crush damage up buff. With her 5A, since she does apply cooldown reduction to herself by 15%, when you do run her with a unit like Eleanoa or Charlotte, she'll have about 35% cooldown reduction. What that means is for about 3.5 seconds, you'll have an uptime of 60% crush damage up, which is most likely one of the best buffs you could have in the game. But it's locked behind her 7A. In general, really quick, Zeta-06, she is either one copy or bust. Either one copy or 7A. There's no in between. Do not take her to 3A. It will be an absolute waste of crystals. Do not just take her to 5. She will still be useless. She needs her 7A to be useful. When she does have her 7A, she's one of the best units in the game. Before that, her base kit is terrible. I mean, absolutely abhorrent. This crit attack, it's nice. It's an AoE, a damage dealt up buff to range units. That's all very good. No multi-hit. So just one hit of 960% of her attack. And this crush damage up by 10% is laughable. Delphoy, who was released when this game came out and sees no play anywhere anymore, she applies a crush damage buff of 20% to ranged allies. They couldn't even give Zeta-06 a better base kit exclusive skill than Delphoy has. I mean, I don't know what to say, guys. It's so gross that they could gut a unit like this. I really hope that Zeta-06 is an outlier for how they develop units moving forward. I know that there are certain units like Zaratu, there are units like Jaeger and that spike in damage once you get their 7A. But this unit is useless. Absolutely useless if you do not have her 7A. Maybe you can run her as a filler for your Dragons team just for this damage dealt up buff. But what are you going to do with a crush damage up by 10%? There are plenty of units you'd rather use over her. I am absolutely disgusted. Free to play kings out there, this is a skippable banner. This is completely skippable if you do not have 2 million crystals. If you have 2 million crystals, a 60% crush damage up for 20% for 3.5 seconds. That's one of the best buffs in the game. But again, it just feels so gross. So if you can get the 7A, by all means, you'll see a massive damage bump in Naraka. In Guild Boss, she'll be super useful in stages. Anything before that, just bumps. We can save, fellas. Going into her traits. I'm so sick. Going into her traits, we have standard crit damage, crit rate, and attack. You could feel free just to do crit rate and crit damage or just crit rate. We do have some Splendor Stone in here as well, as well as maxed accessories. Let's go into Naraka. I did do a run with her included. So just so you know, before I had her in my Naraka team, I was hitting about 47 billion. So she amped damage by about 7 billion, which is probably the biggest bump that I've seen for a unit. Certainly the biggest bump most recently. So let's take a look at where she ranks in terms of damage. So unsurprisingly, Mago, Zeratu, two of the best DPS units that we do have, though Mago still reigns supreme as the queen. Yes. And where do we see Zeta-06? He's going to be right in this middling range. Granted, this is very good DPS. Sabrina, Sekhmet, Suyuha, Lima, these are all very good DPS units. So it's not bad DPS by any means. She's just not going to be the best in slot DPS. She's not going to be a top 3 DPS. She's not going to be competing with Mago, especially because she has no multi-hit on her exclusive skill. So she is a very good DPS with top tier support that is locked behind her 7A, completely gated behind her 7A. I don't know what to say, guys. Fantastic unit at Max Awakening. Anything below that is super underwhelming. Damage numbers just about in the middle. I just can't believe that they would have the audacity to do a 10% crush damage up at base. Super, super gross. Let's go into the other content that they do have with this January 13th update. We do have the Puzzle Rush. Again, not my favorite minigame. We've had this like 3 or 4 times. But again, free rewards are free rewards, so it's hard to argue with that. It's better than having no minigame. We do have a new event boss. This time it'll be the Ice Witch Glacier. Again, she applies a damage over time for Frostbite, so if you are running your team, please run Chi-Chi because she will get rid of that damage over time. And again, some defensive units like Shazam, Ariel, you can run Chasun for survivability as well. The rewards that you get are very good. You get some magic circle boxes and some enhancement material for your magic circle components, which is fantastic. And just note, you do have 21 days to complete this. So I'd say most players, if you're in that mid to late game portion, you should be able to complete it. This isn't, I'm sure there are better teams out there that people have crafted up. Feel free to use mine. I think generally, because there's no ranking system, if they put in a ranking system by damage, whether it's for your region or globally, it would make this event a lot more fun. People would be theory crafting for the best teams, but since this is just an individual event, if you're on pace to complete this in 21 days, I'd say you probably don't need to adjust too much. But again, just run cheat sheet to that, and that should help you out. We do have a new critter. We have Baby Husky, who has come into the game. Absolutely fantastic critter with attack and a crush rate buff as well. Two of the better buffs in the game. Crush rate, one of the best. Attack is very serviceable, so I'd say a very, very good unit. Definitely worth putting in your critter commotion so you can farm more dupes. And the good news on top of this, and maybe the best part of the update, we do get Baby Husky copies for free. So no need to use your crystals on the critter banner. Just by doing your dailies, we will be getting the Baby Husky critter. You can also buy an additional one for 10,000 crystals. I think that's a very fair price and a good deal to get more copies of the Husky critter, especially because the 2 stats that it has are so valuable. But feel free, if you are tight on crystals, if you want to save, you don't need to buy the additional ones. You can just farm it over time by throwing Baby Husky in the critter commotion again. We have some of these boxes again. You do have a chance for orbs. I'd say if you want the chance to get more orbs, you could use the 1,000 crystals. Generally, most of the stuff that you're going to get from these boxes is kind of fodder. So you can ignore these if you want. They're pretty cheap, so if you feel like going for the chance of getting orbs, I'd say it's fine to go for it. No one's really going to smack you one way or the other. We do have a new check-in event, which is nice. We get orbs, breakthrough stones, keys, scrolls, all perfectly useful. So a bit of a mixed bag for the January 13th update. I am really bummed with how they designed Zeta-06, even though at Max Awakening, godsend. I mean, what else can you say about this update? Come to us. You're trying. For the Tower of Chaos as well, this is going to be the new mode that opens once you complete Tower of Ascension. Generally, with Tower of Ascension, I treat it just as PvP. So what that means is you'll want Endure units, whether that's Ophelia, Suyuha, or Zaratu. Jean with her 5A is very good just as an initial tank. Shazam's 5A is necessary, and you could use any filler DPS units outside of that, but mostly you'll need those units for survivability. And as well as for this team, this is just packed with all the meta units, and I threw Ophelia and Zaratu in the back to increase their time for survivability to live longer. In general, I don't really like recommending teams, whether it's for Tower of Ascension or even for daily dungeons. Because my account is on the stronger end, what works for me is not going to work for most players. For my daily dungeons, I could throw in probably some of the most non-meta units and still continue to climb dungeons. But my recommendation would be if you're in the Discord, there are going to be plenty of free-to-play players or newer players that'll be able to assist you forming proper dungeon teams or Tower of Ascension teams. This is what I've been running, and I'll probably go and finish this when I have time. I know that I haven't posted a video for the tower defense yet. This tower defense is super, super tedious, and you need a lot of RNG for the proper cards. I'll be sure to do a few more tests. I haven't done many runs yet, and I'll try to get a pretty stable formation for you guys. But this one's very RNG heavy, but I'll try to get that to you guys as soon as I can. Again, I love you guys. Take care. I hope you guys are enjoying Rush, even though they've been making some boneheaded decisions. Take care, take it easy, and I'll see you guys soon.